G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool repair video from the Goat Shed. Today is Tuesday the 1st of August 2023 here in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, and we're working on target pool, putting everything back on the playfield. So we thought some people may be interested in this, as it's quite a big job and certainly something that you wouldn't be doing every day. But today outside it's 18 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So what Graham's doing at the moment, he's refitting the trip bank. We're starting up at the top end of the playfield and working our way back down. So under that trip bank there's 3 lamp sockets that had to be soldered in and unsoldered off the old harness. So if you look carefully you'll see the old harness is still there. Let me just zoom in a little bit more for you there and show you what's going on. So everything's a bit of a mess. You'll note that we've dispensed with the bracket for the lamps and we've replaced the lamp sockets. I think we pointed that out before. So they'll get done.
Same as them ones they're gone.
Yeah. This bracket's been replaced with lamps to make it much more reliable. These are the old slingshot switches. We've actually ordered brand new ones of those just yesterday. We informed the owner about that and he's more than happy to get them. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8 of those. Prior to putting everything back on the playfield, we'd already mounted the slingshots in the game and the ball kicker, the flipper brackets. We haven't put the pop bumper in yet. We're a bit concerned that the rings, where the ring goes through the holes, might need a little bit of a file with a rat tail file. So these are the lights that were already there and they're now soldered on. So Graham's just having a look what we need to do.
I'll put the common on.
He's going to attach the common now to the, from the old circuit to the new circuit, because as you know we put new common wire down there. And we used picture frame wire for that. That was sort of the closest thing we could find.
It works perfect.
It's quite good. It almost looks like the old factory stuff. So we checked out the to make sure it conducted well before, and yeah, it seems to work well. So it's a bit cluttered now, but as time goes by it's going to little bit by bit it's going to look better till you'll see everything from the old
just come together. So
it's really under the lamp sockets. We've got to unsolder, or we'll just snip them off as we go. And the Jones plugs, well, what we'll have to do, we've already done the male side, we'll get the female side, and we've got a special little tool we'll get down in there to clean those. I'll probably make that my job first up tomorrow. All the switches have been polished and cleaned, but as I mentioned we are going to replace some switches, and the other thing we are going to replace is a couple of coils for the slingshots, because these are those old ones with the cardboard ends and a couple of them were a bit chewed up. I had one here a minute ago, I'm not sure what I've done with it. It's really bad. Where was that? Do you have that old coil we had there, Graham? What do we do with that?
It's in the box.
In the box? So we'll see if we can give you a look at this. See, that was all pretty bad, so we thought we should change that. Don't you agree? The job's worth doing, it's worth doing good, isn't it? And as I said, the owner doesn't have a problem spending the money on this, and fortunately we should be able to get those coils locally in Australia, as we were able to buy the switches in Australia. Now, have you got that common where it belongs, Graham?
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah.
He's fitted that common, and he's just now sorting out the other lamps. Obviously being very careful what to snip.
Yeah.
Could end up with a catastrophe.
Take it slow.
Yeah, that's correct. It's necessary to do this very slowly. Spanky's down there giving instruction. He's done this before. This isn't the only Playfield swap we've got to do. We do have a few others, which will get done in due course. Hopefully one of the next ones we might do is I bought a new old stock Playfield for my Tropic Isle last year from Mayfair Amusements in Queens in New York. Can't think of that chap's name, but I spoke to him at York at the White Rose Game Room show and said how happy I was with it. It took a while to get here, but it was well worth the wait. Cost me a lot of money, but Tropic Isle is my very, very favourite game, so I didn't mind spending that money. And when it's all said and done, even though this looks complex, it's not all that bad to do. So remember, we had all the old guts of the Playfield sitting on a piece of cardboard and glass. So all we did this morning, when I should have thought to video it for you, we just sat it up one end and just slowly slid it off like you were pulling your trousers down, and it all sort of fell into place. And we had to just sort all the wires and everything out. Now we have polished all the brackets on the buffer. You can see here a couple of these old bronzy type looking ones. I know it's not bronze, but we just call that for the sake of it. They come up lovely. Some of the things on this, like these switches here, they've been silver frosted because they were all rusted. Remember, this is the machine where we did the trip bank and we refitted, we rebuilt the complete trip bank from the frame up, and we replaced all those screws that go through the switches. We were able to buy some of those machine screws locally once again, which we're very pleased about, because some of them were rusted in, and the heads were, because people had tried to get them out, the heads were all chewed out and everything like that. That's just a general reminder, people, to make sure you always use the right size screwdriver for the job. That's critically important. There's the old Playfield just there. Underneath it you can see it was a little bit of a mess. There's Graham busily working away. Now I think I mentioned we did do an abracadabra Playfield swap earlier this year. The same custom has a jumping jack. And what else has he got to do, Graham?
Well, we've got volley to do.
Volley?
Playfield swap.
So we've got a couple. We're glutton for punishment, aren't we?
Yeah. Solar ride.
Like I said, now we've got a bit more room. It's going to make things a little bit easier for us, because remember, we have that other bench now out in the front shed that we can work on, although we haven't quite tidied up out there yet because we've been busy. So this is a work in progress. We'll give you a little bit more of an update as it goes along, and obviously then we'll be putting it all together. So hopefully by maybe Thursday we'll be putting the Playfield into the game and starting the game up. I think we've already checked the game without the Playfield, and haven't we, Graham? Have we done that?
Well, we have the machine working.
Yeah, we did have it working prior to doing this.
No, we haven't turned the machine on at all.
Right, okay, so next thing we'll probably turn the machine on with no Playfield in to check that it all works. I've got the gimbal sitting on the Playfield glass of it at the moment. So if anyone has any questions and wants to know how we do things, feel free to ask below in the comments section. We do try and help people. We do try and answer all the comments that people make if they ask a question. Sometimes people ask us questions which we don't know the answer to because it might be something about some game we've never seen, but we do our very best. Now, with that trip bank, as I mentioned, we did check all the switches, but because it's just been sitting around, we will go through all those again before we actually put the playfield back into the machine. Now, what's he done there? Oh, you couldn't do that if you paid. He got the soldering iron all caught up.
No, I tried to do that.
So we're well into this now, and we'll do a little bit more on it and show you where we're up to shortly. Now, just a reminder, we make these videos for your enjoyment. Even though you're not learning a lot in this particular video, you're getting to see a little bit about what we do. I did consider doing this in a live broadcast, but because of the time zones between our different countries, like there's on the east coast of the USA, it's 14 hours, we're 14 hours ahead of you, so it's now Monday sometime over there, and a lot of people are at work, so they don't get to see it. So we do try and do our live videos for you here on a Saturday, which is Friday in the USA, around 6 p.m. East Coast time, if that's of any use to anybody. So yeah, as I said, yeah, please consider subscribing to our channel. It means a lot to us. Spanky would be very happy, and also give us the thumbs up to our videos. And we'll just get back to you very shortly now with the rest of this. So here we are now. We've pretty well got everything in place. As you can see, they're the lamp sockets we put in to replace the bracket, which was really badly worn out, or rusty I should say, not worn out. Ball kickers all back in place. Now, the only thing that we haven't put back in place are these old switches here. There's 8 of them all up. I mentioned earlier on, they've been ordered. We were able to procure those here in Australia, so the owner got them organised. Haven't put the pop bumper in yet, but obviously we've got to turn that over to do it. But all the lamp sockets are now in place, as you can see. So that's really looking really good. What happened, or what we've discovered, is we now have, where is it? Here it is here. A lug broke off on that target, obviously in the twisting of the wires and everything, so we've got to pull that target apart and repair that, but that's not too difficult. Got those Jones plugs in place. We've started to screw the cable holders in place there on both sides. So all in all, it's starting to look pretty good and starting to look more like a pinball machine. I think what we'll be doing a little later, well, obviously got to do the other side of it yet, probably make a little short video on that, but yeah, we're very, very happy with the progress on this. It's been a long job and a long time happening, but I think it's all been well worth it, and I would imagine that probably by today we will have almost finished the underneath of it. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and thanks very much for watching, and this has been another Goat Shed presentation.